The movie begins with Sofia, the beautiful, independent young woman, as she gets ready to head to her job at the publishing house. From her conversation with her friend Nina, we learn that Sofia is a romance novelist and has also written a new novel that she hopes her boss at work will accept. But she's nervous he might reject it because she doesn't conform to the male-dominated society that controls women. Nina tells her, "I think the novel is great, and I'm sure he'll accept it, but come here. How long are you going to stay single like this and not be in a relationship? No matter how nice life alone can be, having a man with you is much better." Sofia replies, "I'm not interested in love or relationships. Why would I get involved with a man who will control me, limit my life, and bring all that headache? Anyway, bye. I'm late for work," and she leaves. She arrives at the publishing house and finds a woman with glasses arguing with the receptionist. She approaches her and asks if there's a problem she can help with. So the woman says, "I have this package I need to deliver to the publishing house." Sofia tells her, "Well, I'm heading upstairs anyway, so give it to me and I'll deliver it for you." The woman hands it to her, thanks her politely, and in a strange tone says, "What you're about to do is exactly what you need." Sofia spots the elevator and calls out to Gustavo to hold it, which he does, and she rides with him. Since he likes her, he decides to make a move and asks her out to dinner. But Sofia, who isn't thinking about love or relationships, politely turns him down, saying, "Unfortunately, I won't be free." In the work meeting, Sofia presents the story of her book to the boss and the other employees. When the boss asks her, "Why should I publish a romance novel that anyone can just search for online and find?" Sofia answers, "Because this novel is not just a novel, it's a journey through time. It will take the reader into an exciting romantic atmosphere, along with everything needed for that journey: maps, pictures, and everything to make them truly feel like they're living inside the world of the story." At this point, Gustavo stepped in and said, "Unfortunately, this novel isn't suitable for our target audience because readers these days are looking for modern romance stories. Nobody's searching for the old stuff anymore. In fact, readers now have completely different motives than love. They want bold content. The whole idea of women's modesty, Sofia, that's long gone." Naturally, Sofia was very upset by his words, as he was insulting women and reducing their place to just one thing. At that moment, the boss stood up and told Sofia, "Your novel is very good, and I'm impressed with the effort you've put into it. But since Gustavo has brought up several points, I'll read it again more carefully and get back to you with my opinion." When he left, Sofia, feeling upset, began gathering her things from the table, but accidentally spilled coffee on her phone and on the package the woman with the glasses had given her. She sat at her desk feeling frustrated and even more annoyed when she realized her phone was broken and wouldn't turn on. That night, she stayed up with Nina, telling her all about what Gustavo had done and how he was such a chauvinist, seeing women only in certain limited ways. Nina tried to comfort her, saying, "I'm sure the boss will like your novel once he reads it." Then she told her, "I've been seeing that waiter over there for a while, and his job is going to be in Australia, so I'm leaving with him in 4 days." Sofia said, "How can you be so sure you love him? You're just going to travel with him like that. I'm worried he might not be right for you." Nina was annoyed and said, "No, just admit you're worried about being alone when I leave you. Anyway, it seems you're not happy for me." And she walked away. Sofia followed her outside to catch up with her. So she got into a taxi, and if you paid attention to the driver, you'd see it was the woman with the glasses. The taxi driver asked her, "Is that a romance novel you have there?" "You know, I really love romance novels." And she kept talking about her love for them. When she noticed Sofia was upset, she asked, "What's wrong?" Sofia replied, "I said something to my friend that I shouldn't have said, and I want to call her to make things right, but my phone's broken." The woman with the glasses said, "That's all? Here, take my phone and make the call." Sofia took the phone from her and called Nina, but she didn't answer. She then started telling the woman with the glasses about Nina's story and her love for the waiter. The woman replied, "And what's the problem with her loving him? I think you're judging the situation because of your own failed past relationship." They finished talking, and the woman dropped Sofia off at her place. Sofia tried to pay her, but she refused, saying, "No, consider this ride free," and drove off immediately. Sofia kept calling after her to give her back the phone she had forgotten, but the woman sped away without returning. Sofia entered the building and found the elevator out of order, so she decided to take the stairs. At that moment, Nina called the phone in her hand, but the signal was bad, so Sofia kept climbing until she reached the rooftop, hoping to get better reception. That's when something very strange happened. The rooftop door suddenly lit up and seemed to transform into a time portal. Sofia stepped inside and found herself in a strange place. When she turned to go back, she discovered the door had become a solid wall. She realized she was in a building in the middle of a forest, and a knight was running after a black horse. She kept calling out to him, saying, "Hey, sir, "I'm here, come help me. You there, help me across," and kept ringing a bell to get his attention. He came over, and she was surprised by his clothes. So she asked, "Are you playing a prank on me because of my romance novel? Tell me, did Nina send you, or was it Gustavo?" He introduced himself, saying his name was Ian, and then asked, "How did you get up there? There aren't even any stairs to reach you." Sofia replied, "Forget how I got here. Just help me get down." She grabbed a rope and began lowering herself, but suddenly slipped. With complete gallantry, he caught her before she hit the ground. She fainted, and when she woke up, she was in his house, where the doctor was tending to her and explaining what had happened. He told her she had hit her head, so she might feel some dizziness. He continued testing her awareness to make sure she was okay, and asked, "What were you doing at the top of the tower?" She said, "I suddenly found myself there, and I have no idea how I ended up in this place. I was supposed to be going to my building's rooftop." The doctor diagnosed her with memory loss, and since he was from a different time period, he was puzzled by the clothes she was wearing. He gave her some treatment, then left. Sofia thanked Ian for saving her, and he asked his sister, Elisa, to give her some clothes different from what she was wearing, then left them together and went out. Elisa tried to make her feel comfortable, but Sofia insisted on leaving, telling her she had to go home. She pulled out her phone to call an Uber to take her back, still unaware that she had entered the time period of her favorite novel. She found there was no signal, and Elisa, fascinated by Sofia's glasses, remarked on how strange they looked. Sofia still didn't understand what was going on and continued to suspect that someone was playing a prank on her. She asked Elisa if she could use the bathroom, so Elisa took her outside the castle to where it was located. The bathroom was extremely primitive, and Sofia, now realizing something was seriously wrong and that this didn't seem like a prank, asked, "What year is it?" Elisa replied, "It's the year 1830. When Sofia went inside the bathroom and looked at her phone, she saw a message from an unknown person saying, "Your journey begins now, so be ready." And then the phone's battery died. Meanwhile, the doctor was telling Ian that he needed to get the woman named Sofia out of the castle because her clothing and behavior could bring them shame. Ian replied, "I'm not sending her away until she's well." When the doctor asked, "Aren't you planning to get married and have a woman carry your name?" Ian said, "I'll only marry someone who makes my heart beat, someone I can trust to carry my name and my family's name." At that moment, Sofia returned to the castle, and as soon as her eyes met Ian's, they both stood staring at each other, hinting that we might be about to witness a love story like no other. Just then, Tiora, who had a crush on Ian, appeared and began making snide remarks toward Sofia. Elisa quickly smoothed over the situation, introducing them by saying, "This is my friend, and she's here to help me with my party." After Tiora left, Elisa told Sofia that Tiora wanted to marry her brother, but she wasn't the only one, as many women were infatuated with him and wished to marry him. Elisa then helped Sofia change into a dress that matched their time period. But Sofia insisted on wearing her jacket over the dress, just in case it got cold. Night fell, and the guests began arriving at the villa, the first being Mrs. Clark and her granddaughter, Valentina. Mrs. Clark kept praising Ian, and from the way she spoke, it was clear she wanted him to marry her granddaughter. Just then, Tiora appeared and moved closer to Ian to annoy Clark and Valentina. At that moment, Sofia entered, instantly capturing everyone's attention. They all sat down for dinner, chatting and enjoying the evening together. When they asked Ian about his hobby of raising horses, he told them everything had been going well until the black mare ran away. Sofia said, "Do you mean the horse that was by the tower? You know, when I was little, I always wished I had a horse of my own." The doctor then cut in, saying, "It seems to me you're feeling better now. So will you be leaving tomorrow?" Sofia replied, "Yes. As soon as I wake up, I'll be going." We could see that the thought of her leaving deeply affected Ian. It seemed he might already be in love with her. Mrs. Clark asked, "And what about you, dear? How do you live your life?" Sofia said, "I work and support myself." When they asked what she did, she told them, "I work in a publishing house, and because I studied languages in college, I can read most books." Mrs. Clark gasped, "Oh my goodness, did you just say you went to college? I don't understand how you could do that and still be so improper." At that moment, Sofia's phone rang. So she got up from the table. It turned out to be the woman with the glasses, who said, "I realized you love romance novels, so I thought I'd send you to the era you loved the most." This revealed that the woman with the glasses was actually a genie who had sent Sofia back in time to the period of her favorite novel. Sofia told her, "No, listen, I want to go back to my own time right now." The woman replied, "There's someone who can help you. Go find him, and he'll return you to your time," then hung up without telling her exactly who to look for. Sofia then found a library and decided to explore it when Ian came in and began chatting with her about the books and stories he had. It became clear just how much of a gentleman Ian was. He wasn't a flirtatious man at all. Ian takes her so they can go have dessert with the rest of the guests. Here, Mrs. Clark tells her, "Be careful. There's a person who appeared in town a while ago whose clothing is quite similar to yours." When Sofia asked her, "Well, what's his name?" she replied, "Santiago." At that point, Elisa said to her, "I know him. We can ask about him tomorrow when Madame Georgette comes. She's coming to adjust the dress, and she already knows all the news about everyone in town." In the morning, Elisa wakes her up because Madame Georgette is about to arrive. Sofia wakes up to get ready, and when she looks out the window, she sees Ian training the mare. She keeps staring at him dreamily, and it seems like she's fallen in love. She goes down to Elisa, who is standing with Teora and Valentina to get ready. Madame Georgette arrives, and she is astonished by Sofia's clothing. She tells her, "I've never seen a fashion designer make clothes like the ones you're wearing," and she expresses her admiration for her outfit. She keeps examining it on her, then takes her measurements to make her a new dress that suits her taste. Sofia asks her, "Do you know anything about Santiago?" Georgette tells her, "Yes, but I don't know where he's staying. But he ordered a suit for the dance party tonight, so we'll definitely find him at the party." A little later, Valentina comes to her and expresses her admiration for her jacket, and we see that Valentina is a kind and respectable person. Valentina tells her, "I'm tired of having to come to every occasion so my grandmother can find me a husband, and also dressing me in colors she likes, even though I really love black." So Sofia tells her, "Well, how about you wear my black jacket?" and she puts it on her. After Madame Georgette leaves, Sofia takes her bag and is about to leave, but she runs into Ian, who is sad that she's going. When he learns from her that she wants to go to the ballet theater, he offers to take her there because the road is too long for her to go alone. Sofia thanks him and says, "How about you take this novel and read it? Then tell me what you think of it." He takes it from her and thanks her for the gift. Then he gets on the horse with her so they can ride around the area for a while. She asks him about Teora, saying, "I think she's the one most interested in you." Ian replies, "I don't want to just marry anyone. I want to marry the woman my heart chooses and loves." Sofia says, "And here I was thinking you'd tell me. Well, love comes after marriage. Turns out you're very romantic." Ian takes her to the top of the mountain and tells her, "This was my mother's favorite place. I love coming here because it makes me feel like she's still with me." While they're talking and sharing tender feelings, the black horse Ian had been looking for appears. Then it leaves again. But this time, Ian doesn't pay it any mind because he's too focused on Sofia, his eyes full of love and longing for her. At night, Sofia arrives at the dance party. Teora comes to her and says, "I don't know what Ian sees in you, but listen, sweetheart, if you think you can take him from me, you must be delusional." Before Sofia can snap back at her, Elisa arrives, and they both fall silent. Then they point out a woman, and when Sofia looks, she sees that the man with her has a phone like hers. He must be Santiago. She goes to talk to him, but he walks away before she reaches him and disappears. The dance party begins, and Sofia is very happy with the joyful atmosphere. Then she notices Santiago moving from his place, so she excuses herself from Ian and follows him. Ian follows her too, but the girls who have a crush on him block his way. He leaves them and goes in through the same door Sofia entered. Meanwhile, Sofia finds Santiago standing with a woman, and it seems he's romantically involved with her. Ian comes up to her and says, "Can you tell me, miss, why you're following Santiago?" She tells him, "Because he's the only one who can take me back to the place I came from." Ian says, "It's not proper for a beautiful woman like you to follow a man like Santiago. Your reputation could be ruined because of your search for him, and I'm worried about you and also jealous." Sofia replies, "You have no right to be jealous of me or to tell me where I'm going or what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing." He confessed his feelings to her, saying, "I'm doing all this because I feel a certain way about you." When Sofia playfully pretended not to understand what he meant, Ian apologized for being so direct, took his leave, and walked away. Sofia went back up to the party, and Elisa asked her, "Where were you? We met Santiago and he agreed to come to my party. My brother Ian is the one who invited him." At that moment, Sofia felt guilty for the way she had spoken to Ian earlier. She went home, but couldn't sleep because of the guilt, so she decided to go to his room to apologize. While talking to him, she noticed he had drawn her in his art room, and that's when she realized he was in love with her. Their feelings for each other grew, they confessed their love, and the atmosphere became very romantic. The next day, Sofia went down to the house library and was surprised to find the glasses lady there. Sofia asked her to send her back home, but the glasses lady told her, "I've already sent someone to take you back. The question is, will you go with him or will you stay here?" Just then, Teora arrived and overheard Sofia talking to someone. She came in but found Sofia alone. When she asked who she was talking to, Sofia replied, "I was talking to myself," and left. The day of the party arrived. Ian gave his sister a necklace as a gift. Guests began arriving, and we saw Valentina transformed into a bold young woman, wearing the black jacket without caring what her grandmother thought. The guests greeted Ian and his sister. The doctor told Ian, "Your sister is getting married, so you're next. Make sure you choose well." At that moment, Sofia came downstairs in her stunning stunning dress, literally stealing everyone's attention, especially Ian's love-struck eyes. He walked over to her and asked her to dance, and she agreed, her smile never leaving her face. Of course, Tiora was boiling with jealousy and frustration because Ian had chosen Sofia over her. Ian told Sofia, "I know you're determined to return to your home, but I have to hold on to the hope that you'll stay here." Before he could finish, the maid came and told him someone needed to see him for something important, so she took him with her. That moment, Santiago went up to Sofia and said, "I heard you were asking about me." Sofia replied directly, straight to the point, "When are you planning to go back to your era?" He told her, "Soon. But it depends. When are you planning to return?" Sofia said, "Let's talk in the library so no one can hear us." Meanwhile, Mrs. Clark went to tattle to Ian, telling him, "I saw her walking with Santiago." So Ian started looking for her, hoping to find her quickly. In the library, Sofia asked Santiago how they could return to their home, but Santiago didn't care about any of that. He wanted something entirely different from her. At that moment, Ian came in and rescued her before Santiago could get close. When she returned to her room, the doctor came in with Ian and said, "What happened there isn't acceptable. Miss, what do you mean being in a room with a strange man?" Sofia tried to convince him that she wasn't from this time at all, that she came from a completely different era. The doctor told her, "I believe you, my dear," and left with Ian. Then he told Ian, "I think Sofia is suffering from memory loss because of the incident." Tiora entered and said, "I think you're right, doctor, because I caught her talking to herself a couple of days ago." Of course, Sofia overheard everything. She came out and said to Ian, "So that's how it is. You think I'm crazy like they do? Fine, I'm leaving." She ran out of the mansion, holding her phone, trying to call the glasses lady. At that moment, the black horse appeared, so she mounted it and galloped away. Ian jumped on his horse and chased after her, begging her to stop so she wouldn't get hurt. He kept telling her, "I love you. I want you to stay by my side." But she completely rejected it, saying, "I don't believe you. I want to go back to my home." And so it happened. A time portal opened, returning her to her own era. She immediately went to Nina and told her everything that had happened, then said, "You probably think I'm crazy." But Nina replied, "Not at all, my dear. I believe you. The important thing is that you're safe now. I'll leave you to get some rest." And she left her and walked away. When Sofia accidentally spilled coffee on the magazine, she remembered the package that Ms. Nadara had given her. So the very next day, she went to the publishing house to check it out and was shocked to find that it was the same book she had given to Ian. She was even more shocked when she opened it and found a letter from Ian inside. In it, he wrote, "I hope this letter reaches you one day. From the moment my eyes met yours, I knew I loved you. I'm sad that the time we spent together was short, but the memories of those days were the best thing that ever happened to me. And know that if you ever want to come back one day, I'll be here waiting for you." Sofia, drowning in tears after reading the letter, was approached by her boss, who told her, "I read your novel and spoke with my partners, and we've decided to publish it. I think this will make you happy." Sofia replied, "That's exactly what I needed," then left. When she got home, she found Nina crying, afraid of the future. She told Sofia, "I'm scared that happy endings only happen in novels, and that my relationship with my boyfriend will end without us getting married." Sofia, tearing up and sad because she couldn't be with Ian, told her, "Love is worth all this trouble, even if it's only for a single second." After comforting her friend, she put her in a taxi to go see her boyfriend. Then she went back to the building, and just before she got into the elevator, she got a call from Ms. Nadara. Sofia told her, "I want a second chance to go back to my beloved Ian." Ms. Nadara told her, "I'll give you a second chance, but know there's no going back. Either you'll live in this world or in the other one." Immediately, the elevator went down, signaling to Sofia that she should head to the rooftop. She ran up the stairs to reach the roof, and as soon as she arrived in the other time, she found the black horse. She mounted it and rode quickly to reach Ian, going to his mother's favorite place. She kept calling for him. "Ian! Ian! Where are you, Ian?" At that moment, Ian, the lovesick romantic, appeared riding his horse and told her, "Finally, you've come, Sofia. I've waited for you so long, my beloved." Sofia told him, "Without you, I've lived the worst days of my life." They drew closer to each other to complete the romantic moment, confessing their love for each other amidst the breathtaking nature. And that's where today's movie summary ends. If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and share your opinion and your name and country in the comments. This movie was summarized, edited, and recorded by me. Stay safe. Goodbye.